Good. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lauren Shackelford. I'm the current chair of the Washington County Planning Board. Meeting is scheduled to start at 5. We need a minimum of 4 planning board members to have a quorum, so we're going to delay the meeting for a little bit to see if we can get a quorum. So we'll get going as soon as we can. Thanks. All right, my apologies for the delay. We do have a quorum, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. This is the regularly scheduled Washington County Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting and Washington County Planning Board meeting. We'll start with the Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting. We could have roll call, please.
Joe Maynard, absent. Maria Banks.
Here.
Lisa Miller.
Here.
Jay Piercy.
Here.
Neil Helm, absent. Philip Humbard, absent. Lauren Shackelford.
Here. Okay, so we do have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. The first item on the Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting is the approval of the agenda. We have one variance for Lodge at Water's Edge applicant. Is there any changes to the agenda stated? None. Okay. All right, then I will entertain a motion for approval as agenda is stated.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Got a motion, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's start with that item, Lodge at Water's Edge. If we could have staff report, please.
This is for a variance, which is sought to adjust an existing parcel to a smaller size than what zoning allows. The parcel would be adjusted from 1.12 acres to 0.73 acres. The owner has a desire to maximize the area of an adjacent parcel by squaring up its shape and taking the necessary land from the parcel in question. And there are no technical concerns or public comments.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions of staff? Okay, is the applicant here tonight? If you would, please state your name and address for the record and tell us about the project.
Good evening, Nathan Crouch with Blue & Associates, and I represent the applicant on this one, or the property owner. I just wanted to mention that this is one of the properties, one of the parcels involved with the lodge at Water's Edge CUP, which has been approved, but we're still working on large-scale development plans to submit. And what this is doing is basically just squaring up the property line for the actual parcel the lodge resides on. And then, I don't know if you can see the plan in front of you, but then it goes ahead and takes in the rest of the road itself as it heads down the hill to the west. That way they can put a gate down there. This will be a private road, so there won't be an issue with the gate. They're going to go ahead and asphalt it according to the CUP conditions of approval. And so, indeed, this is just to square up the property lines, and neither of these properties are for sale.
Okay, does this affect the CUP? Will you have to modify the CUP with this request?
We're going to have to modify the CUP anyway.
Okay.
Because he's purchased additional properties, and the project has really grown.
Okay,
And I think it started off with about 3 properties, and I know he's sitting on at least 6 now.
okay.
And just wanting to get the properties configured the way he wants, that makes sense to him.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to comment on this item as we present tonight? Okay, seeing none, I'll close it to public comment and bring it back to the board.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
We have a motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the ZBA meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now let's move on with the regularly scheduled Washington County Planning Board meeting. If we can start with roll call again, please.
Joe Maynard, absent. Maria Banks,
Here?
Lisa Miller,
Here?
Jay Piercy,
Here.
Neil Helm, absent. Philip Humbard, absent. Lauren Shackelford.
Here. Okay, we'll move on the agenda. I'm sorry, we'll start with the approval of minutes. The minutes from our last meeting, which was June 8th, 2023. Those have been submitted for your review electronically. Anybody have any comments, concerns, corrections that need to be made to the minutes? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
Have a
second.
motion and a
I'll second.
second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, next, let's look at the agenda. We have on the agenda tonight, conditional use permit for anytime hauling, conditional use permit for Rapology, conditional use permit for Longham Shop Edition, a replat of tracks 10 and 11 of Honey Hollow subdivision, and variance for, no, we already did that. I think that's it on the agenda. Anything changed since the agenda's been stated?
No.
Okay. Anybody have any issues? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll
We got a
second it.
motion. Is there a second?
Yep. Got it. Aye.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we have several conditional use permits on the agenda tonight. I will remind the applicants, a conditional use permit takes 4 affirmative votes out of 9. So, or, yeah, 8. How many commissioners we have? Anyhow, it takes 4 affirmative votes. There's only 4 of us here. So I always give applicants the opportunity, if you want to table your item and have it presented at the next board meeting where we hopefully have better attendance, that's definitely your option. So just know as you present a conditional use permit that it takes all four of us to vote affirmatively to get it passed. If it's a 3-1 vote, you would have to go through the appeal process as if it was denied. So I just want to make that notice to everybody. That being said, we'll start with the first item, the anytime hauling CUP. Staff report, please.
Thank you and good evening. A conditional use permit is sought for anytime hauling for the purpose of storage of trailers which may have temporary trash on them to then be hauled off, and also parking for customers to store vehicles, boats, RVs, etc. No comments have been received by neighbors, and planning conditions would include the applicant must have an appropriate waste hauler permit by Boston Mountain Solid Waste District in order to store temporary trash. The debris is to be stored on trailers, not to touch the ground. Trailers be concealed from the road. Perimeter of the property be gated with a minimum 6-foot picket privacy fence. Parking and storage to be limited to roughly 1/3 of the property, and any further changes would have to come before the planning board.
Okay.
The applicant's here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, appreciate it. Any questions of staff from board? If not, I'll ask the applicant, if you would please come up, state your name and address for the record, and assuming you want to proceed with the conditional use permit request at this point, let's have a little information on your project.
My name is Jamila Knowles with Anytime Hauling.
If you would sit down, I think we need to, is the mic on? There you go, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, if you would start over, name and,
Name Jamila Knowles.
Kevin Smith.
We're with Anytime Hauling. We've been in business here in Northwest Arkansas for a little over 2 years, and we are looking to expand into our own territory. So we are looking at Summer, Arkansas. We bought a lot there and just looking to make it a permanent location.
okay?
To expand.
Have you seen the conditions that staff is recommending for approval of this?
Yes, we've already made arrangements for everything that's needed.
Okay. My question, temporary storage, define temporary. How long will the trailers be stored?
Maybe a week max. Typically, they're emptied out same day, but
Okay.
we can't guarantee same day,
Okay.
depending on the opening of the facilities that we use to recycle and dispose of the trash.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any other questions of the applicant from board?
Okay, how's this
You're
work? Oh, I'm on, okay. Just one question. The trash that they're talking about, is that just, from the pictures I saw, it was just haul away junk, but not smelly, yucky, or anything like that, that would affect any of the neighbors?
No, ma'am. It's in the trailer, so.
It can be pretty much anything as far as furniture, it can be appliances, it could be trash bags on there. So we can't really guarantee what's considered trash hauling for that particular week. But typically, if he can get the jobs done that are worse, then he's going to get those done because he doesn't like that stuff sitting on his trailer. So likes to try to keep it clean and maintained and not destroy his own property in the process.
All right, thank you, that's all I have.
Any other questions of the applicant?
Are you guys living on site with this property and all this going on, or are you living elsewhere?
Elsewhere.
Okay.
Okay, I'll open it up for public comment. We may ask you back depending on that, but thank you very much. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to make comment on this request, conditional use permit request? Okay, seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the anytime hauling CUP with the conditions, staff conditions.
It's a motion for approval subject to the 6 staff conditions. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, let's move on. The next one is Rapology CUP. If we could start with the staff report.
Thank you. A CUP is sought to permit the continued operations at 4707 East Mission, Fayetteville. Basically, the tenant is in the process of purchasing the building and wants to ensure his rights to continue his business, which the business has been there. Tenants have occupied that business since well prior to county zoning regulations, so they're not really out of any sort of compliance. It currently operates as a vehicle wrap and sign shop. There's been no technical concerns and no comments received from the public.
I do have one question, staff. I drive by this property at least twice a day. They're in the process of redoing the parking lot to where ingress and egress is gonna be from a side road instead of from Highway 45. Was that a requirement of this process?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any other questions for staff on this? Okay, is the applicant here? If you would please, sir, state your name and address for the record and tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
My name's Andrew Cole. I'm with Rapology. I own Rapology. We've been operating at this location for 2 years now. Basically, I didn't know about the CUP process, so just trying to do the right thing and get approved. We are in the process of paving the parking lot, and the reason, actually, we had always accessed the shop for as long as it's been there off of Woods Edge. There was an exit that came off of Highway 45. I closed that off because cars were flying through there at 40 miles an hour. So that's why I closed that off. But we are in the process of repainting the building, making it look nicer, and pave the parking lot, so.
Okay. I do appreciate what you're doing on the parking lot. That's a lot safer option from somebody that lives in that area. I very much appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant this time? Okay.
I just want to add, I'm by your place all the time too, and I agree with you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, is there anybody from the public that'd like to make a comment on this conditional use permit request? Okay, seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this.
And I'll second. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, moving on. The next item is in the Tawnytown planning area. It's Longham Shop Addition Conditional Use Permit. If we could start with staff report, please.
Thank you. A CUP is sought to construct a 50 by 100 foot metal shop building for the storage of equipment for a construction business. Day-to-day operation will be for employees to pick up equipment and then return for storage at the end of the day. The building is not open to the public and will have up to 4 employees that have access to the building. It's on the east side of Harmon Road near the Harmon Township. And 2 comments have been received in opposition. Largely compatibility and land value are the concerns.
Okay. Any questions of staff? Any questions from the board to the staff? Seeing none, the applicant's here. If you would please start with your name and address and tell us about your project.
Just used to store his equipment. Like it said on there, it's not going to be an open business, open to the public, anything like that. It's just strictly for parking equipment and trailers and stuff. So love to get him approved. He's got the street department's going to come out and replace the culvert that's there to accommodate the trucks and everything coming in and out, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So I got a question. The existing structure that's on it now is a house, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does the applicant live in the house?
No,
Okay. Does anybody live in the house?
not at this time.
Is
No.
it used for office space for the business, do you know?
No.
Okay.
An employee may live there at some point in time, but no, it's not an office.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, all right. Any other questions of the applicant? Go ahead, Mike. Mhm.
So what kind of building is it? I've got the size down, but is it gonna be a nice building or?
It'll be
what-
a,
Or an ice, I mean, not an eyesore, but is it compatible with, I noticed that there's a house next door.
yeah, it'll be just like a normal metal shop building with overhead doors. It'll be all closed. Just like just a pre-engineered metal building.
Thank you.
Any other questions of the applicant? Okay, thank you, sir. We may ask you back. Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak to this? If you would, please come state your name and address for the record and share your thoughts.
My name's Adam Taylor. I live the adjoining property just to the north of the proposed building site. We're new residents. We've only been there, me and my wife and family's been there 2 weeks. To hear this, building being proposed is kind of alarming, just because we moved out there for the peace and the land and it's all residential. It's zoned residential, and I hate to see, I have nothing against a business, I have a business, but it's not the right place for a storage building. It's just, there's nice houses on both sides of us. It's just, I just hope you guys do the right thing, and I strongly oppose it.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Yep.
Hello,
Hi.
Jason Cunningham. I live on the south side of this proposed lot at 18940 Harmon.
Okay.
Been there a little over 6 years. We built out there in 2017. That land and that shop that's there today has a one-bedroom apartment in the front where the two residents that just moved out lived there for a couple years. I've lived there before. That was built like right as we were building our home. There is room in that facility as well for storage of potential materials in the future that could be turned into an office quite easily. And it's all residential, just like Adam said. I actually went down to Adam's house the other day to let him know, because they did just move in 2 weeks ago, and I wanted them to be aware of what was going on and what was being planned. But it would be quite an eyesore for my family and I. We just put in a swimming pool 2 years ago in the backyard. That's not what I want to look at when I'm out enjoying my backyard. I've got 3 young children. I'm not saying that their employees would be in and out all nights, but I don't have any idea of the times that they would be open, when they would be coming in, when they'd be leaving, the traffic that would be created, the large equipment, things like that. I didn't even see, but when we got these letters, there was nothing drawn on these that showed us where the building was going to be. That's in the very front of the property, because the lateral lines are behind the building that's there existing. There's nowhere else for it to go. I couldn't, we built out there. We were the first ones to buy a lot when that was all a pasture. And so we've seen all that grow up over this last 6 years, and it is all residential, it's all families. I just don't understand why it would be an area a business would want to use for a storage facility only. I could see future CUPs coming through where they'd want to turn it into some sort of a business as well. And again, I've owned businesses in the past, and I understand, expansion. Sometimes you just have to pick where you go. But I would highly oppose being a commercial zone within all those residences, when that's the only lot within that entire area that has no residence on it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anybody else want to make public comment on this item? Okay. If not, I'll close it and bring it back to the board. So question for staff. If it was a hay barn instead of a metal building, is there county regulations that limit size for agricultural or residential outbuildings at this time?
No, sir. Could
Okay.
be automatically approved.
So this is before us because
Because
he's
it's a
stating
business.
that he's gonna park equipment and it's his business?
Yeah, and they have employees in and out.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Questions, comments, concerns?
I just wonder if the applicant can go over what the hours and what the regulations on the employees coming and going to maybe address the questions that they said they didn't know.
Hi, Kyle again.
If you would, please state your name and
Yep.
address for the record.
Kyle Sargent. My address, like my home address?
Yeah.
I live in Springdale, 364 Penzo Avenue in Springdale.
Thank you.
So it will be used for storage of equipment. So during the day, it'll be used during working hours, for the most part only. That's when they operate their business. And so I've come in, 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 p.m. at night. And, it'll be primarily, I would, anticipate the first part of the day and the last part of the day for, like I said, normal working hours. They're not going to be there at night or super, super early in the morning when it's dark and stuff like that. So.
You said 4 employees, is that correct? Have access to it? Okay. What type of equipment are we talking about?
Trailers, for forms and things like that, everything on wheels, backhoe, rubber-tired equipment, skid steer,
Okay.
stuff like that. Nothing.
Rolling stock, basically.
Yeah, nothing
Okay.
super large.
Okay.
No giant excavators or anything like that.
Okay.
So,
When you say trailers, like 18-wheeler trailers?
no, ma'am, like flatbed trailers. Just to store like lumber on for forming concrete and stuff.
Okay.
There's some larger flatbed trailers to haul the backhoe, but nothing massive.
All right.
No 18-wheelers.
What are the future plans? I mean, if he grows, what happens if he decides to, what is that?
That's, right now, he has, multiple locations that he's parking stuff, and so he's just trying to consolidate it all into one spot. There's no plan for an office or anything like that out there right now.
Thank you. Any other questions for the applicant? Okay. To the board for action.
If the hours of operation is a concern, we can always add it, as he said, 7 to 4 and make it a condition, if this is okay with everyone.
Okay. We can make hours of operation a condition of approval. So, yeah, it's 4 votes to approve the conditional use permit. I've already closed public comment, but if you got something quick, ask me.
I was just gonna ask about property value, what it's gonna do to our property value.
I mean, I guess I'm a little caught there because if it was, I mean, it's in the county, it's zoned, by use by rights, agricultural, residential. If it was a hay barn or it was a guy with an antique car collection who was building it for his personal use, it wouldn't even require action. So there is no county regulation on size of outbuildings. I somewhat appreciate the fact they're being honest and telling us they're parking, commercial equipment in there, and it's not just, we're gonna build it for a hay barn and, oh, by the way, store trailers in there. So I do understand the aspect of it, being an area that has built up residential, but if any of these people that live in houses next to them wanted to build this same building, they wouldn't even have to ask us for permission to build it. That a neighbor could build the exact same building for personal use, and it would be a use by right. So that's, I guess, my thoughts on it.
approve the Langham Shop Edition CUP.
We got a motion, is there a second?
I'll second the motion with some set hours.
Okay, so let's modify, if the motioner is open to
Put
that.
the hours on, yeah, 7 to 4. Yep,
How about 7 to 5?
7 to 5.
That's, I
That's
mean,
better.
that's more reasonable.
Yep.
Okay. Applicant okay with that? So the motion as it stands now is for approval, subject to operating hours from 7 to 5.
That stuff's not out there very much, to be honest. It's always on the jobs. So, I mean, we're just out there to service it technically.
Got it.
So everything else that's stored, like small engine stuff, is stored inside, not outside as an ICE. I mean, it's not gonna be an ICE.
Yes, sir.
And while we're doing hours, what about days? Are y'all working on the weekends?
Not very many. I mean, Saturday till noon sometimes, but they're not at the shop that much.
Okay.
Yes, make it like Saturday, Sundays off? Okay.
All right, so it's your motion. You want to modify your motion to include?
The hours of operation, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4, and then noon on Saturday.
How about 7 to 5? All right, I apologize. We got a motion for approval subject to hours Monday through Saturday, 7 to 5 p.m., off on Sunday.
I'll second that motion.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, let's move forward. Next is land development hearings. We have in the county, item D, replat tracks 10 and 11 of Honey Hollow subdivision. If we could start with the staff report, please.
The applicant is seeking a replat of 2 tracts to adjust a property line located in the Honey Hollow subdivision. The property line is the one right in between tracts 10 and 11. Tract 10 would be adjusted from 18.04 acres to 17.8 acres, and tract 11 would be adjusted from 20.99 acres to 21.22 acres. There are no technical concerns, and to date, there have been 3 neighbors requesting more information about the process, but neither were in opposition to the project.
Okay. Any questions of staff regarding this applicant? If not, is the applicant here? If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Tim West with Atlas Professional Land Surveying, located at 425 North Centennial Avenue, West Fork. Clients are proposing this replat to correct an encroachment of the large shop building there that's located on tract 11. I believe it encroached over the line by about 4.5 feet or so. So they're just essentially swinging that existing lot line to the west to correct that encroachment.
Okay. Only question, I probably should ask staff this question, I apologize. Is there setback requirements as part of county regulation, and does this meet those setback requirements?
Yes, sir. And it's 25 from the front, 20 from the back, 10 from each side. And like, yeah, Tim already like provided all the information.
Okay, all right. I should have asked that earlier, I apologize. All right, any questions of the applicant from the board? If not, I'll open it up to public comment. If there's anybody here that would like to make comment on this request, seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back. Yes, sir, I'm sorry, Sam.
No, it's clarification. The only reason this is coming before the board because it's in a platted subdivision. If it was not, it would be just a lot line adjustment. You've never have seen it, so.
So, and I wear too many hats because I'm on community planning boards also. It can't be done a lot line adjustment cannot be done administratively in the county if it's a platted subdivision.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
if this was just lot and block, or if this
Yeah,
was
it would
just
be done like same
tract-
day.
Okay, all right, that was another question. All right, appreciate that. Any other questions or comments? If not, anybody have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second for approval as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. What else for the good of the order? Other business, discussion of current development and planning activities. Our next meeting is August the 24th. I assume we're still in the process of working on division planning. Okay?
It's a long process. Yes, sir.
All right, I appreciate it. Staff, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Anything from the board?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion? I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.